Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats presented by WeTV. In this series, I will be interviewing some of our amazing athletes here at WCU. Today's guest is Elias Barton of our men's track team. How are you, Elias?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing well. So we'll jump right into this. Please introduce yourself, tell me and the camera who you are and what you do on the team.
Yeah, so my name's Elias Barton, and I run track and field here at Western Carolina, and I'm a 200 and 400 meter sprinter.
Gotta have lots of energy then.
Mm.
I did want to talk to you about a couple of specific things, not necessarily WCU related. A lot of people may recognize you from seeing you with track, but they also may have seen you going around on an electric unicycle. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I ended up getting that for my birthday from my parents. My dad saw some guy riding around on this electric unicycle, and he's like, "That looks awesome." And so he got me it. It took a couple weeks to, figure out how to learn to ride it. And it goes about 30 miles an hour. And so every once in a while you'll see me zip around campus, you lean forward, and it self-balances. It's pretty dope. Yeah, it's definitely unique.
Yeah, I think you're one of two people on campus right now, so I'm usually assuming that it's you.
Yep.
So I did want to ask, what brought you to run track at WCU?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a crazy long story, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So originally, I'm a transfer student here at Western, so I was at NC State before Western. I kind of jumped the gun. It was my dream school. Western was my second choice, and I got into NC State somehow, and I was like, awesome. And my coaches had contacted the NC State coaches, and I already knew one of them previously. And I was trying to run with NC State. My times were fast enough, and it was right around the time of COVID, and so they just, due to administration issues, they weren't letting anybody join because of COVID. And so I stayed the following semester. They said there's a good shot of me going to getting to run in the following semester. And due to Title IX issues, something called gender equity, but essentially they cut the men's track team by 6 athletes, giving me no shot of joining the team, even though my times were fast enough to make it on the team. Even the head coach of the NC State sprints team left to go to A&T. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I might as well go to my second choice of Western, and I joined spring 2023 and started running here and kind of worked my way up.
Nice. What or who would you say motivates you to run track?
Oh, man. I'd have to say my parents. My dad was a sprinter and jumper. My uncle was also a jumper and 400-meter hurdler, so I always look up to them. And my coach has helped me, improve quite significantly. And my team always motivates me and pushes me, so we all kind of push each other, pick on each other a little bit, and that definitely drives me.
Yeah. One thing with you mentioning your team, I know a lot of the athletics at Western and Western in general, a lot of people tend to echo the family sentiment. So I was wondering your take on that with track and how much of a family your team is.
Yeah, we're definitely a big family. My group, kind of the 2 and 400 sprints group, we're pretty goofy, and we really, really just nag each other and push each other. And so we've kind of grown a little bit tighter over the course of the fall semester and indoor season. And we're very, very competitive, and so that really drives us to be really close. And sometimes that competitiveness can get, a little too far, and that may separate some people, but yeah, we're just always growing together, and we're definitely doing good as a team.
It's good to have people around you that can push you and get you to your best that you can be too.
Absolutely.
I did also want to ask a little bit about how much influence your coach has on you. I know you briefly mentioned that, but.
Yeah, so funny enough, he's definitely a big part of me here being here at Western. When I made the decision to transfer from NC State to Western, I actually called Western. They're like, yeah, you've got no shot. You missed all the deadlines to transfer. And Coach Jesse Norman kind of pulled some strings, was able to worked me into the track team and got me kind of already set into Western to help me get in, to be able to get in to run in the spring and get enrolled in classes. And so for that, I'm forever grateful for him. Yeah, he's definitely a big part.
Yeah. And now here you are, a year later, still running and got a bronze medal the other week. So
yeah, we got bronze medal in the DMR. That was also a coach's decision. He made the last minute decision to throw me in for the 400 part. It goes, I think it's 1200, 400, 800, and then a mile. Yeah, he made the decision to put me in the 400 sprint part, and yeah, our team took bronze.
Super exciting. I did also want to kind of ask you about something else that I know just from having spoken to you before. You have a little bit of history with American Ninja Warrior.
Yes. So back at home, I worked at a place called Warrior Tech, and it's a Ninja Warrior training facility, and I used to compete in local competitions. So a lot of the guys on the show, in order to train, they would do these competitions, and I would always enter in the pro division just so I could get to meet them and compete. And after a while, I mean, my love is for track, so I stuck with track and field the most. But, you know, in the off season, I would go back, I'd work there, I would help coach, I'd train, I'd help run kids camps. Yeah, it was always really cool to kind of help coach and see the kids' development and going from, you know, never doing an obstacle before to going and competing. But yeah.
Definitely a unique experience that I don't think a lot of our athletes can say they've had.
Yeah, it's definitely a little different.
I did want to kind of switch gears a little bit because this interview is more than just you as an athlete. It's also about you as a student and a person outside of that. So if you don't mind telling us your major.
Yeah, so my major is sport management, and yeah, it's pretty good.
What are you planning on doing with your degree, or do you have plans right now?
So I've still got a few options in the air. One option is definitely coaching. That's kind of the most obvious one. But because it is a business degree, I can still go into anything on the business side, especially on financials. I also wouldn't mind starting or developing my own clothing company, shoe brand, or even working underneath another shoe brand. I mean, I got these Sauconys. They're a little old, but I absolutely love them, and I'm a huge shoe fanatic and can sit here and talk about shoes for way too long. But I think it'd be pretty cool to sit there and, you know, help develop shoes for athletes. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
I think track is something where the shoes are very important, so it makes sense you'd be able to talk about them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what is your best memory at WCU so far? It can be athletics related, can be not, or both.
Oh man, I think one of the biggest things is friendships that I've made along the way here at Western. Definitely you know, getting to meet new people from different backgrounds is really cool to kind of see that dynamic. Also with kind of more on the track side, going and competing at the championships just this past a couple weeks ago here at Indoor Championships, where do we have that? VMI. You know, getting third for the DMR and really pushing myself. I always really enjoy kind of seeing where I can go. Last year at Outdoor Championships, I ran a PR of 48.64 in the 400 meter dash. And that for me was probably one of the coolest moments because when I started, because I was at NC State, I didn't run for basically 2 years. And I started with a 50.4, and in an entire season, I already dropped about 2 seconds, which may not seem like a lot, but on the track, it's a pretty big distance.
Yeah, every fraction of a second in track makes it completely different.
Absolutely.
The outcome. So last question, it's not necessarily athletics or academically related. It is, I wanted to ask, who is your go-to artist to listen to before a meet to get ready?
There's a couple. I kind of have like this whole preparation. On the bus ride, if it's a long bus ride, I'll listen to Jamaican reggae. And I have a USA mix and a lot of Jamaican reggae mixes. I think my playlist is like 21 hours long. And so that gets me kind of in that chill mode to relax, have fun. And then right when I'm about to go and run and compete, I have a couple artists, Toby Mac and KB, both Christian hip hop rappers. They're pretty awesome. And then kind of a completely different direction, I'll go into rock with like Jairus Johnson and just something that will really get me pumped up and going.
Lots of different avenues going down to get you ready.
Yeah, it's very
whatever
weird.
Got to get that energy.
Absolutely.
So that is it for today's episode of Chats with Cats with Elias Barton. Thank you, Elias, for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course. So that is it. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.